Hey, Zakiyy, really glad to share your story with some of the other students. And as always, how about we start it off by having you tell us a little bit about your background and why you even wanted to break into tech sales in the first place?
Absolutely. Thank you, Troy, for having me on just to talk a little bit about my journey and about getting into tech and things of that nature. So, my background really has always been in sales. I've been in entrepreneurship since about 2013, 2014. Started my first company, which was a power washing business, and I'd always been working either in sales or in customer service. So that's where most of my background is. I always like talking to people, networking, building relationships, and things like that. So naturally, sales was a place that I always flourished. I did not necessarily know how to apply all of the training, nor did I have the necessary discipline to apply it all at one time, uh, so many years ago. But through different life experiences and things like that, and just getting older and a lot more discipline, the training definitely came in handy. And being a part of the sales customer service world was something that I really, really enjoyed.
Gotcha, gotcha. So you have this background working, doing your own business and also working in sales and customer service. At
Yes,
what
sir.
point did you decide you wanted to transition into tech?
Well, okay, so customer service, I had worked at call centers, I had worked at retail stores, I had worked at car dealerships, and I had worked at other retail places as well. And that was a version of sales. And throughout my entrepreneurship journey, I read books like Secrets of a Millionaire's Mind, and different books that talked about the importance of getting into sales. And when you listen to people like Robert Kawasaki and other successful millionaires, they always talk about mindset and specifically also getting into some type of sales, because as an entrepreneur, sales is very important, and that's what you're doing, whether it's a service, whether it's a system, whether it is a product, a physical product like merch or something like that. You're always in the process of selling. So I it didn't click to me that tech sales was really the sales they were talking about. So I had been going back and forth with the idea of going back to school. So I already have a background in communications and media. So I'm like, I'm not going to go to school for that. I already have a background in social media marketing and branding. I'm not going to go to school for that. So if I'm going to go to school, then I want to get something that's going to be valuable moving forward. And just looking around in the industry and seeing different things around me, understanding, Bitcoin, understanding cryptocurrency, blockchain, and, metaverse, and all of these different things dealing with technology. Technology is one of the fastest growing industries, and it's the future. Everything is going to depend on heavily technology. You see where a lot of grocery stores and a lot of retail stores are putting self checkouts now and removing a lot of the cashiers. A lot of warehouses, they don't have people now physically driving the forklifts or physically driving the pallet jacks. They have robots that do that. I've been to restaurants that have robots that serve you food now. They don't have waitresses anymore. They have robots that come. They have all of these different things that deal with tech. If you study how Tesla has been growing with the electric cars, but now they're in the 18 wheeler semi trucks where they're releasing electric semi trucks, and charging stations are all over the place for all of these electric cars. So tech is taking over, and in an industry like that, you have to get in at the beginning if you really really want to be successful before it becomes oversaturated. So I'm seeing all these different moving parts and how big a role tech is playing in that. And I said I need to get into technology. So I was literally on a school website, going through the course curriculum and seeing what they offered as far as technology. And I was talking to my sister in particularly about it, and she works for a tech company. She works for Intuit. I think that's how you say Intuit.
Mhm.
And she said, "Have you ever thought about tech sales?" I said, "I never heard of tech sales." So she forwards me the information of to Cyrus, his Instagram page, and I started consuming content on Cyrus' Instagram page. As I started to consume the content on Cyrus' Instagram page about how he broke into tech, he worked in a six-figure tech job, worked from home, fully remote, all of the benefits. He says that he has classes or he has links to courses or boot camps that you could take in order to become trained in order to apply for these classes. So at the time, I was going through a financial situation. So I'm looking at Careerers and I see Careerers on there. I'm like, cost too much. But then they had CourseCareers on there. I said, let me see what CourseCareers is. So I looked at some of the differences between CourseCareers and Careerers. And I said, right now, I got to do something. I'm going to go with CourseCareers. So I had my last $100 and I seen that CourseCareers offered a payment plan where you could start with basically $100 and get rolling, and then you be able to pay every 2 weeks because I had a part-time job. So I said I'd be able to pay that every 2 weeks, but I could get the ball rolling with the course. I took my last $100, I signed up for CourseCareers, and I got started immediately, and that's what started my journey into tech and into tech sales.
Wow, that's really incredible. And I'm curious, do you have a bachelor's degree?
No, I don't. I don't.
Wow, so no bachelor's degree, but you've been working in sales and in customer service and have a really a passion for technology. You find CourseCareers. Did you go through the introduction course?
Yes. So when I first got to the CourseCareers website, I started looking around at the website. I was like, okay. And like I said, I've been in technology, social media world for a minute. I know how people create courses and all of the stuff that go on the back end and things like that, what you need to have in order to be able to sell, a good course and have a legitimate course. So I'm looking through the page. I'm like, okay, the website looking good. Okay. So then I'm going through. I said, okay, let me go testimonials because that's the first thing that you look for when you're trying to see if somebody has a good course and is legitimate. Do they have good testimonials? So I'm going through and I'm looking at testimonials. I said, okay, he got a couple of testimonials. And then I see where you have a free introductory course. So I said, let me take the introductory course. So I started watching the introductory course. You explain your story, how you got into tech sales, talk about your journey and things like that, and then why you decided to create the course and to help people get their foot in the door in the tech industry because it's not a known thing. And I said, wow, this is definitely an opportunity that I need to take advantage of because I resonated, number one, with your story. Number two, I was able to see, the value in after you explain what some of the benefits are of being in tech. And I said, I have to take advantage of this opportunity. So after the free introductory course, I went and I watched some of the testimonials. So I'm looking at the testimonials of different individuals who had came through the course. And the one that caught my eye was when the young lady mentioned that she had finished the course, I believe in almost like 2 weeks. Like it's a 3-month intensive course if you just taking your time. But if you really knocking it out day to day, every day you knocking out a piece of the course, you get through all of the curriculum, you can get through it in a very short amount of time and start the internship preparation part. You can start building your resume, everything. Troy sets you up with everything you need to be successful. So you can get to that part after you get through the curriculum if you dedicate it and you focus. And the young lady had finished the course in about 2 weeks flat. She finished it. Boom. So she going through the whole internship process and she interviewing with partner companies and things like that. And then she lands a 6-figure job for, I believe, Noble for like 125K right out the gate. Fully remote, benefits, the whole nine. I'm like, wow. And then I listened to a couple of other testimonials of people that got jobs that were starting at 75K, 65K, fully remote, great benefits, great health benefits, home office stuff. I mean, when you start searching on LinkedIn and you see some of the benefits that these tech companies offer, which is something that Troy highlights in the course, you highlight in the course, Troy, it's almost unbelievable. You listening to you talk about it, Troy, but then you get on LinkedIn and you see it on these company pages where they have it listed, unlimited PTO. They have it listed, monthly stipend for home office. They have it listed, we'll pay you $40 a month to take care of your gym membership. It's like, yo, this is crazy. So after I watched those testimonials, I was fully convinced it's a wrap. I paid my money and I got right into the course and got started.
Wow, I'm really glad to hear that. So you jump into the course, and how long did it take you to finish the course once you enrolled?
I started the course the last week of July and of
Mhm,
this year, and I finished the course. I'm gonna get the exact date because I started the last week in July, and I finished. I got to the end of the course. I believe it was August the 18th. I had set a date for myself to be finished by the 15th, and I think I finished like the 18th or the 19th or something like that. So I had
mhm.
completed it 18th or 19th for August. Then I still had to take my test. I had to still had to take my test and then wait for the grades to come back. So I think in
Mhm.
between that time, I think I might have received a passing score around maybe the 26th of August, the 29th or something like that of August when I received the passing score. And then I had access to partner companies and I could start doing my outreach to different companies and to start putting myself out there to, try to get a job.
Awesome. And while you were learning the material, was any of it confusing or difficult?
No, 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 no. You know, if you could go to college, you could take this course. I mean, if you can go to high school and sit through the classes that they have in high school, you can go through this course. The beautiful thing about it is that I want to say, because I counted the videos, I believe Troy has 90 something videos in there, and they range anywhere from a minute to 30, a minute and 30 seconds till about, I think the longest video is might be 30 or 40 minutes where there's a presentation in there on how to send video through email. I think that's probably the longest video in there. Average is about anywhere from about 5 to 8 minutes per video. But Troy, you take so much time in detail actually showing people. You barely see Troy face throughout the course. You might see his face maybe 3 times throughout the course because majority of it is him showing you his screen on how to go through different things. So when you're going through and learning HubSpot CRMs, you're looking at Troy's computer screen where he's walking you through HubSpot. He's walking you through Zoom Info. He's walking you through LinkedIn Sales Navigator on how to do research and how to do outreach. You're literally looking at his screen where he has drafts and templates of emails on how you send out certain types of emails to different people. So everything throughout the course is literally Troy's computer screen and he's walking you through each and everything that you need to do, which is exactly what you're going to be doing in the job. As far as
Mhm.
being an SDR, is everything that you need in order to be successful in that job role. Troy shows you exactly how to do it.
And Zakiyy, do you feel like you learned a lot of new things throughout going through the course?
Yes, absolutely. I think the best part of the course for me was the beginning because once you got through the book, once you read all of the books, that opened up your mind to see everything else in a different light. So once you read, how to win friends and influence people, spin selling and fanatical prospecting, it helped to put you in the mindset of a SDR and into tech sales because it's a different mindset from B2B sales and B2C sales, which is your car dealerships and digital and real estate agents and retail and stuff like all of that is B2C. But when you read fanatical prospecting and spin selling, it puts you in the mindset of what B2B sales looks like. And then also you Troy go into specific breakdowns of emails and outreach when you're trying when you're selling technology software to certain companies and things like that. So it really puts you in the mindset to really understand the differences. And I know in spin selling specifically, it breaks down the differences between small sales and larger sales. It breaks down the sales process, the buying process, and the difference between that in a shorter buying process or a sales cycle in a B2C relationship versus a B2B
Hmm.
relationship. So once you understand that, because your mindset is already opened up after reading the books, then what you start to learn in the course as far as the actual practical application of what's being taught, then it all makes sense.
That's what I love to hear. And let's hear the number. So you finished the course. How many companies did you interview with?
Okay, so the amount of companies that I interviewed with were, I think I interviewed with only 3 companies. Now, how many applications I
Mhm,
put in, I couldn't tell you because I was literally going down LinkedIn and I'm just applying. Like I'm just applying. I'm pulling in, because everything is already uploaded, so it don't take a long time to fill out to send the application, and to send your
mhm,
resume. So I couldn't tell you. I probably ran through a bunch of different companies, but I interviewed with 3 companies. It was one partner company that I interviewed with. I interviewed with another network. It was almost more like a network marketing company. And then I interviewed with the current company that I'm with now, CRI Advantage.
And tell us about this company and why you decided to go with them.
Well, you know, again, I was actually looking forward to the partner company bringing me on because number one, I went through all of the partner companies. I applied for all of the partner companies. I sent out emails to all of the partner companies. So I was really trying to, get into as many partner companies and try to get with them because I know that helps you in course
Hmm.
career. So I was trying to get with them. But like I said, only one of them reached back out to me for an interview, which was Stream Sets. So I did the
Hmm.
interview with Stream Sets, felt really good about it. And then there was no second interview. Then CRI reached out to me via LinkedIn, and I had a first round interview with them. Did really, really, really good. Felt good about it. Then I had a second interview with them. Felt really good about it. Then I had a third interview with them that had the sales manager and some other people in leadership in it. And it was just a really good conversation. It was a really good interview. And I felt really good about it. And they offered me a role at the company. And at that time, I was also still putting out applications. And I had another meeting. I know
Hmm.
I told you about this. I had another meeting like a couple of days after I had got the offer from CRI, and I had that meeting. But the talent acquisition person over there, I don't believe was actively looking for, because the company that she worked for was a startup. So
Hmm.
when her recruitment for her SDRs was going to be kind of people that she already knew that could kind of help develop this sales team first before she started bringing in other SDRs that she didn't have a relationship with. So people that she knew from other companies and things like that. But it was a good networking opportunity because it was other students from CourseCareers that was there. Everybody asked a bunch of really good questions, and she gave a lot of good information because she's obviously the one doing the hiring. So that she told us like all of the inside scoops about what she looks for when she's trying to hire SDR. But I had the CRI offer still on the table. So after that, I said, well, I'm not going to let this linger, especially after the conversation that we had. And the base number that I was starting at with with CRI was not normal. So we said we're gonna roll with that because I'm not even about to fumble that one. So we said, okay, I'm gonna go ahead. And after that, I went ahead and accepted the offer with CRI, and they were adamant about me not accepting any other offers until I talked to them. So when they
Hmm.
sent me the offer, they said I told them I was still in the process of interviewing. I had other companies, and they said, okay, that's fine, but let us know before you decide to make a decision on another company because we really
Hmm.
want you over here at CRI. So after that point, like I said, and after the conversation that we had, I went ahead, accepted the offer, and I moved forward with them. I think that the company was really good after I did my research on it. It was really interesting. It's in a nutshell, it is part of it is selling is selling services for is selling product and support for back office workflows, right? For IT
Hmm.
workflows and different companies like that. So that's part of it. And then there's a cybersecurity aspect of it as well. And one of the things that I learned in the interview with CRI is that if you work in cybersecurity and you close deals on cybersecurity, you actually get a double payout. Now, as a SDR, you get paid to book meetings with different companies and decision makers in those companies. But when you do cybersecurity and you book a meeting and they sell and they close the deal, you get paid for booking the meeting and you get a percentage of the deal. So that's a
Wow.
one up in working with cybersecurity. So that was one of the things that stood out from any other company. If it's not cybersecurity, then I'm not going to get the two-time payout. Obviously, I only get the one-time payout for booking the meeting. So, and it's a relatively small company. It's still growing. So there's a lot of opportunity there for growth as well as for me to learn, because not only will I be in the SDR role of research, outreach, and discovery, but also they're allowing me to go from discovery to presentation and all the way through the sales cycle on the other side with the account executive, so that I could also get
Mhm.
that cross training as well. So that was one of the other things that played a factor in my decision to go on with CRI.
Wow, yeah, I know when we were talking, it sounds like a really great company. And can you share with the other students kind of how much you can expect to make in your first year?
In my first year, I can expect to make. I want to say close to 85,000, because
Wow.
the base is 65. So that, and it might be higher because that's just a commission, because you get commission for closing the meetings, but then you also
Mhm.
get for scheduling the meetings, but you also get the commission for any deals that are closed on the cybersecurity side. So it's probably higher than that when you include the commissions. But just with the regular scheduling of meetings, it's about 85,000, and the base is 65,000. So
Yeah. And is it a fully remote position?
fully remote position, a brand new MacBook. I'm also getting some double screens and a mouse and some a wireless keypad that they sent, a wireless keyboard that they sent in. So the whole home office setup is being taken care of by the company. Is fully remote. Great benefits. They take care of your gym membership. I think it's 15 paid holidays. So pretty much every federal holiday is included in that. And then we have some floating holidays as well, Monday through Friday. So, it's definitely good. It's beautiful.
And do you think the information in course careers helped you land this position? Everything from how to do the job, what kind of questions they might ask in an interview, how to prepare, how to set up your resume, LinkedIn profile.
CourseCareers has everything from start to finish that you need in order to land a job in the tech industry as a SDR. Everything from start to finish. The curriculum, the knowledge base, how to build a resume, how to apply for the job, who to apply to the job through. And I mean, as far as who to email directly as it pertains to hiring SDRs, um, preparation for the interview, preparation for internship. It's all included in the course. Everything is included in the course. Everything that I talked about in my interview was SDR related, came from CourseCareers. I referenced spin selling. I referenced fanatical prospecting. I referenced how to win friends and influence people. I referenced the knowledge that I had from about CRMs. I referenced the knowledge that I had about research tools such as Zoom Info. We talked about LinkedIn Sales Navigator. All of those different things I referenced from the course. Uh, you know, the terminology, ideal customer profile, ideal buyer persona, the terminology from CourseCareers, highlighting what my role would be, knowing, and this is the key, because the company will ask you how many calls do you expect to make on a daily basis. Now, this is talked about in fanatical prospecting, and Troy talks about it in the course too. So if you're not paying attention, then you'll miss it, because the company will ask you, well, how many calls do you think you can make in a day? And in the course and in fanatical prospecting, the average or the standard is anywhere from 50 to 100. But you wouldn't know that if you didn't pay attention in the course. And that was one of the questions that they asked me inside the interview. How many calls would I be expected to make, outbound cold calls a day, as a role, as my SDR role within the company. So again, from CourseCareers. So everything that you need in order to land a SDR role or a BDR role, at a tech company is in CourseCareer. It's the total package. Like I said, the interview process. If you don't know how to interview, Troy got a video for that. Got somebody in there with a mock interview, does a whole interview process, asking questions, all of those different type of things. All of that's there. If you don't know what to say, proper grammar, how you should come across in your interview, all of those different types of things, Troy covers throughout the CourseCareers curriculum. So it's pretty much all in there. Even if you can't get a job at a company, Troy shows you in the course how to follow up with a potential internship proposition. You know, uh, so there's so much stuff in there that you can use to be able to either land a full-time SDR position or get an internship that is really foolproof. If you can't do it, it's because you're not applying what's been given to you in the curriculum. But it's not because the curriculum is missing anything. It's not because your resume is missing anything. He has a mock example resume in there for you to use. He goes through LinkedIn, how your LinkedIn profile should look, why you should have a good hedge professional shot photo for your LinkedIn profile picture. All of that stuff is in there. So there's really no excuse for why you're not able to do it unless you're just not applying what you learn. But it's definitely not the course. The curriculum takes care of everything.
Awesome, awesome. I'm glad to hear it. And that's the usual response I get from other students that very quickly land positions. And the last question is, how do you think your life is going to change now that you can expect to make about 85,000 in your first year and now you're on the tech career path?
I could expect it to only be up from here, because obviously one of the things that a lot of that's happening now, especially in the economy with inflation and things like that, is a lot of uncertainty within the job market, and a lot of people complain about the inflation and different things that's causing the cost of living to increase, gas to increase, groceries to increase, and things like that. And my mindset is you could either complain about it or you can do something about it and change your current condition. And the way that you can change your current condition is adding value to yourself. And one of the ways that you can do that is by taking a course like CourseCareers and adding a valuable skill set to yourself and changing industry where you have an opportunity to make more money. It's just that simple. I mean, there's no point, it makes no sense to sit back in the same industry that you've been in for 5, 10, 15 years and you're making the same amount of money or a little bit more, but still not being able to live comfortably because of the amount of money that you make, and then complain about it, especially with inflation hitting. Now you really are tight for money and financials and things like that. My mindset would be, okay, what other industry would be able to pay me more money? And tech industry pays a lot of money. And Troy and CourseCareers has been able to open up the door for people to be able to get in on the ground floor. And once you get in, you can only go but up from there. Because again, in my current role, I have the position and I have the opportunity to actually cross train right over into account executive, right over into sales management. I work directly with my sales manager and directly with the account executive. So I'm gonna be able to get that training. So probably within the next year of being in the company, I'm probably going to be up into an account executive role, which is going to be obviously a pay increase. You see what I'm saying? So the upward mobility is there already, just working in the tech company from the beginning. So you have that opportunity to do that. So I believe, my life is going to change dramatically in a positive way, because I was really in a financial situation for the last about year. And, a lot of those questions about inflation and industry and all that stuff was in my mind. And I said, okay, I have to figure out another way. And what's another way? Technology is the industry. Everything's leaning on technology. It's not one of those industries that's trending right now, and a trendy industry that may be up for a few years and then goes down. Everything is relying on technology. You see how much money these social media app developers make just off of social media platforms. People have read and watched the movie on the story of Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook. You've seen multiple other stories on people who got into tech and make a lot of money. So tech is one of those industries that's almost like recession proof, unless you are able to shut down the grid and cut off all the internet in the United States of America, you're not going to stop tech. So that's one of the industries that you should be able to get into. And again, they're paying a lot of money and they have a lot of positions. Another thing that I learned in my interview on the cybersecurity side is that there are a lot of empty positions in cybersecurity that they're waiting to fill, but they don't have any people that's qualified to fill them. So you got jobs that's sitting there waiting to pay you $70,000 a year, $80,000 a year to do cybersecurity. And once you get certified and once you take a course like CourseCareers or boot camp, you get that under your belt, then all you're doing is lining yourself up to make more money. So it's all beneficial. The more learning that you do, the more that you apply, it's all beneficial, and you're definitely going to be able to change your life and be able to live, the life that you dream. Because one of the things that you talk about, Troy, in your introductory, in the free course, in the introductory course, was about how your life changed when you got into tech. And you've been able to travel around the world and, all of those different things. Why? Because you work remotely. So literally you could go wherever you want to go as long as you take your laptop and got Wi-Fi and got a headset. You can still do your work. So you can go and travel internationally. You can see the world. You can do all of these different things, and you're not tied down and being in one spot, for an extended amount of time, and all of the other things that just come in when it comes to working traditionally. And another thing, in the tech space, they're really big on work-life balance. So you have some companies where you only work like 4 days a week. They have like 4.5 days a week because like your Friday will be a half day where you only work like half the day on Friday and things like that. So work-life balance is something that's really important in that industry, and specifically for the company that I work for is very family oriented. So they always talking about work life balance and just making sure, because everybody in in the company has a family. So that's very important. There's a lot of myself and somebody else are Dallas Cowboys fans. So we talk about football on the calls and stuff like that. So it's a very family oriented work life balance is great. And I'm pretty sure you find that at other companies as well. So I think it's going to be, all nothing but good things moving forward.
Really glad to hear it. And thanks again for sharing your story with the other students. And as always, I mean, the reason your life transformed is because you watched someone else's testimonial, and now
That's
they're going
right.
to watch yours, and you're going to have a chance at making a difference in other people's lives. So thanks again for sharing your story, Zakiyy.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Thank you again, Troy, for the opportunity.